Hello there, I'm Phobos and welcome to Phobos Art. This video on figure drawing is the second subject of the series and alongside proportions is a very crucial one. Today I'll cover gesture. Gesture is the movement that connects the contours and shapes. When drawing gesture, we should search for the essence of the pose in the most simple way possible. It's an approach to drawing that can be used to draw anything. It's not meant to be a finished drawing. It's an exercise made to practice a concept. While practicing this, you are training your mind to see rhythm in anything you draw. The important concepts we should look out while practicing gesture are 1. Line of action. It's the main line that shows the directional flow of the pose. It's not always necessary to directly draw the line of action, because not all poses can be connected by only one line from head to toes. But it's the first element we should search when practicing gesture. 2. The longest axis are the longest lines that connect forms, going from one form to the other, in the most fluid and simple way possible. Sometimes line of action and longest axis meets, but it's important to search for both of them separately. 3. Three major masses. They are head, ribcage, and pelvis. It's not necessary to fully draw them, but we should always pay close attention to them and how they interact. It's in that relation that we can find the place where the pose gesture is coming from. 4. Angles and inclinations. We should check for the shoulders and hips angles and inclinations. With that in mind, we can see how it affects the flow of the pose. For example, on here, we can see how the figure slightly pinch on the right side and is relaxed on the left side. 5. Landmarks. After the pose is looking good gesture-wise, we can spend a bit more of seconds drawing the landmarks as necessary, like the end of the ribs, the limitation between hips and legs, the collarbone, and so on. While drawing gesture, it's important to make it as simple as possible and draw lines mindfully. Also, taking in consideration all of the previous concepts, we can add a couple more, like flow. The lines we make communicate energy, especially given the simplicity of this drawing. The more fluid, the more relaxed it feels. So be mindful of the bendiness of your lines. If you need to draw tension, do zigzag lines, curves for mild tensions, and wave lines for a relaxed feel. Also, avoid drawing details. We are going for essence, and details are the opposite of that. It's better to selectively draw the necessary details to complement the gesture by using landmarks. In this pose, I notice how the torso and hips relation produce a pinch on the back side and a relaxed line for the front. It's only a few lines, but it's enough to describe what the pose looks like. In this one, we can't see much of the torso, but by observing the relationship between shoulders and hips, we can see that there is a relaxed rhythm on the back side and a pinch on the front side. Even here I didn't draw the line of action or the longest axis. I have them into account before starting drawing. You can say that longest axis and the line of action is implicit in the drawing. It's more important to be able to capture the movement and the essence of the pose than to be very strict about the proportions or directions. If you like to use the same poses as I do, in the description below you will find a link with the reference pack and a code for a discount. To quickly summarize, first we focus on seeing or drawing the line of action. Then we draw the longest axis of the figure, being mindful of the flow. After that, we search for the three major masses and draw them as necessary. At the same time, using angles and inclinations to see how the major masses interact and what movement they make. To finalize, you can add some landmarks if you're happy with the gesture drawing. With practice, you will be able to do them all at the same time. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button and get notified when new ones are released. Goodbye!